Sussing It Out, Chapter 32, Sussman, Rick Sussman, Joker Face, Room, okay. I had no intention on doing a Sussing It Out today. I was actually kind of sort of loaded for bear on things that were going fine in my life. I am cataclysmically doing fine lately. I have nothing really to talk about, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But sometimes your inspiration comes to you and you don't even have to ask for it. Today's inspiration is brought to you by the letters C and D, another exciting edition of Customer Dissatisfaction. We're going to call this Customer Dissatisfaction Volume Deuces. So, as many of you are aware, I am a member of a generation that is known for its debt. We were all given credit cards at a young age, or were just handed us credit cards by credit card companies, and then we all proceeded to do stupid things with them. I make no grubs, no complaints, no qualms. I screwed up a lot. I owe a lot of money in credit card debt, and I'm slowly pulling my way out of it. However, this is not in regards to any of that. Completely unrelated, this is really dark, but oh well, completely unrelated to my credit card debt is some other random debt that I allegedly owe. And I was not served, because it never got to that point, but I was handed information, I guess, from a debt collector. I called them up and I said, what is this in reference to? I have no idea who you people are or why I'm being essentially sued by potentially the state of Georgia, or in the state of Georgia. Atlanta was their home office. And they said that this was in regards to a unpaid rent or something from a previous landlord that I had lived for. And I said, unpaid rent? What are you talking about? I wasn't kicked out of an apartment. Oh, well, no, you wouldn't have been kicked out. It was about your last month's rent not going through. But don't worry, they took out all of your security deposits, so you only owe this amount. And I said, well, that's interesting. Why? I guess that explains why I didn't get my security deposit back. But again, I have no negative anything about where I live. I'm in great standing with all my previous landlords. And they said, well, not this one, so on and so on. So I said, okay, fine. What do I got to do to prove to you that you're wrong? Because I know for a fact this isn't an issue. By the way, the issue in question happened in January. I only found out about it in June. It is now obviously October, so maybe it was July that I first got wind of this. Doesn't matter. None of this actually matters. I went to America, the bank, and I said, hey, here's my situation. This is what's up. I need validation that this happened. And even though I've heard horror stories about this particular institution in the past, and I wasn't terribly keen on being part of it when we got married, my wife and I, my wife previously being an American holder, if you will, decided I went for it anyway. But they looked it up. They did all that. There was phone calls. There was calls to calls to calls to calls. And I said, I need every way, shape, and form validation that this was paid. And they said, Rick, this is what we got. We have a check that proves deposit. We have week summaries of your deposit statements. There's no money going out. There's no NSF fee provided. There is nothing. There is zip. This check, maybe some other check they're talking about, I don't know. This is the bank talking. But this check, this particular check, premium, all good stuff. Nothing bad happened here. Absolutely nothing. And I said, okay, maybe it's just an error on their part. So I call up the Atlanta office and I say, hey, Atlanta guys, my bank just told me without any question this debt's paid. 100%, completely nothing. And they said, oh, well, that's not what we have. Can you provide us that information? And I said, yeah, no problem. So I go down to the post office. I send them up all the information I have. I keep some of it for my own personal record. I didn't think it was necessary. A week later, I get a call from Atlanta. They said that wasn't enough information. They don't believe it. So I go back to Bank of America. They run everything again, exact same documents. I send them everything this time, keep a copy for myself. But they have all the information that the bank had. Everything's good. I get a call about something else, something completely unrelated. And it reminds me, this was the first customer dissatisfaction. That's what I got the call, when I got the call, when BS Credit refused to accept my check for some reason. But that was a previous entry into sussing it out. So that reminded me that I needed to call these guys. So I call these guys, I leave a message. Call these guys again, leave another message. This is now October, mid-October, and I was just trying to get an update. So I call up, and the guy isn't there again. And I get, transferred, and I don't really care. I don't go into work until later today, so I'm just chilling. And I pick up the phone, and this woman picks up the phone and says, yes, this is such and such with Atlanta law firm, blah, 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 blah. How can I help you, so on and so forth. And I tell her the situation and just that, I was looking for an update. Oh, well, I don't have any of that information provided to me. Okay, I understand you're not, a manager or something like that or whatever. I just want to leave a message. But is there anyone else I can talk to about this? Is there any information? And she says, let me pull up the file, and I'm going to give you guys some audio cues. That's her typing. So she pulls up my file, and she says, oh, well, the reason why you haven't heard back from us, Mr. Sussman, is because you had an NSF fee attached to it, and it came back. So, yeah, you owe us the money. What? No, I don't owe you anything. Your supervisor says they don't know if I owe anything. There's questions as to whether or not the complaint is even valid at this point. Well, wait, what are you talking about? No, I can see it right here. Yeah, the check that you provided for us, on the back there was no stamp. I didn't provide you a check. I provided you a photocopy of a document that was provided to me by bank of a particular country that, everyone can figure it out by now, that said that it's absolutely, without question, validated. Oh, well, you have an NSF fee. And it came back. Nope, says it right here. It came back. What are you talking about? No, it didn't. I provided you that information, too. Why are you even doing? Oh, sir, you're getting loud. You're getting loud. This is a debt collector's office. We are not allowed to get loud. You need to pay your debt. What do I need to do to prove it to you? You need to get your credit card to pay us 640,080 pennies, whatever. No, I don't. I absolutely don't. And at this point, things hit walls. I see red. I was literally just on the phone to leave another message with this guy, hopefully getting an update. She then says, well, let me just put you on the phone with my manager. I said, why didn't you do that in the first place if you didn't have the... Well, I had to scroll up. You had to scroll up. You had the information in front of you. You chose to ignore it. You had to scroll up. She then puts me on hold. Now, little backstory. I used to work for a call center, for a law firm, actually. I was, at one point, the head of that particular call center for one of its little sects. And I know that when you put people on hold, you can still hear them. They just can't hear you. You're just muting them. I know this for a fact. It really does happen. Trust me. And there's been a number of internet memes that have validated that particular point. So I tell her while I'm on hold, you can't put me on hold and just assume that I'm going to stop talking. I know you work at a call center. I know what the joke is. I get it. And she comes back, this isn't a call center. I wish I was making this up. I wish this was not exactly how the conversation that just ended 8.5 minutes ago really happened. Finally, I'm ranting, I'm raving, I'm absolutely in hysterics, and I hear the guy who I wanted to talk to pick up. Is this Rick? Yeah. Hey, man, just looking for an update. Oh, well, we sent all the information, we're waiting to hear back from them, we've sent them a half a dozen emails. I'm sorry, we can't remove the debt until after they have decided whether or not they want to pursue with the case or not. This is all the information we have right now. I'm sorry, that's the update. Was that so hard? I just wanted to leave you a message. I haven't left this guy a message in 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks max. I just was trying to get an update. Why was I accosted by this person who knew nothing of our situation? I don't know, sir. I'm very sorry. I will be disciplining her after we hang up. That was not the way that we handle things here. This is a law office, supposedly. I've looked them up on the internet. They've been sued a lot. I'm not really surprised. But this is what we live in now. This is the world that we've come to live in with our customer service, where the customer is not only never right, they don't ever need to be listened to. The store that I work at, we work really hard to try and keep people happy because we're a niche business and we know that we need customers in order to make money. A lot of stores don't understand that concept and they just don't succeed. There's tons of stores that close every day because their customer service is atrocious. Why it is that law offices and credit card companies can still seemingly get away with this kind of stuff is beyond my realm of understanding. But I can guarantee you, had any of my employees, when I was a leader of that particular law firm's call center, acted in such a way, they wouldn't be working for us anymore. It's just not good customer service. And if you don't have good customer service, you're going to lose business. And if you lose business, you're going to close the doors. I don't understand why that's such a difficult concept for people these days, but it really is. Thank you all for listening. I hope you enjoyed chapter whatever. I really can't even, this is just nuts. I think it's 32, but it's the newest sussing it out, and you just listen to it. I'll talk to you guys soon, hopefully under some more happy matters. See you then.